Our next inductee, along with Joe Davies, was in the early class of Annandale. He was, can you down please? Mr. Melisco, please have a seat. Our next inductee was a football, basketball, and baseball player. He was voted most outstanding athlete at Annandale High School in 1956, 1957. His best friend was Joe Davies. He ended up marrying a woman named Donna Crown, who wrote a fantastic book about the history of Franconia and the people who lived there. He has traveled from Arizona with his family to come receive this award. Mr. George Elgin and his son, Keith Elgin, to present him. Keith Elgin and his son wrestled at Arizona State University. Remember the national championship team? Yes, national championship team winner, Arizona State.
Thank you, thank you. My dad and I had a huddle before I came up here, and we both agreed that we're going to get you out of here by 11 p.m. Fair enough? You guys good with that? No. Obviously kidding. We flew all the way from Arizona, and our arms are killing us. All right, I'm telling you. My name is George Keith Elgin, and I'm here this evening to honor my father, George Samuel Elgin, who is being inducted into the Annandale Hall of Fame. At Annandale High School, Dad was known as number 84, and that wasn't his choice to wear his jersey tonight, because he wanted to just wear a shirt. That was Mom making him do it. All right? So there you go, Mom. Good job, Mom. Even though he didn't want to, you made him do it. So we're here tonight with my mom, my dad, my sisters, Carla and Chrissy, and all the way from Arizona. We lived here in Virginia for a number of years, but we just got tired of the humidity and the bugs. All right? So we moved to Arizona where there's no humidity and no bugs. We're here tonight with Richie Carrero. Anybody know Richie Carrero in town? Raise your hand. Some of you might know him. He coaches Fairfax County youth sports. Been coaching 39 years. Give him a hand. 39 years. Head coach, 39 years. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. He's a badass. We're also here with Dave Cruden tonight. Dave, we thank you for being there. He's here supporting my dad. Dave, I think you were what, the first 7'5" guy at Annandale High School? No, 6'6". Yeah, but Dave was your center here at Annandale High School. We're also, and we're welcomed here also by his beautiful sister, Marianne. Appreciate you being here. Also here is Bruce Hewitt. Anybody know Bruce Hewitt? There he is right here. Another good basketball player, and his daughter Leah with him as well. We appreciate you guys being here supporting Dad. In the spring of 1956, my mother's family moved from Washington, D.C. to Springfield, Virginia, where a new high school was under construction, Annandale High. Mom and Dad were freshmen that fall and met in the hallway at school. Now, Dad is probably not going to be happy with me sharing this, but he had a little stuttering problem in high school. Okay? And when he met Mom, his stuttering went away. No kidding, that's a true story. So, good for Mom. You saved him. My mom and dad and their classmates chose red for the school color and Adams for the name. The athletic coaches at Annandale were having to recruit team members for the sports program. They had to recruit them. All the players were starting off in a new school with new teams and going to play against very established other high school teams in the area. My dad felt, even as an underclassman with no experience, he was up to the challenge. My dad's friend, his best friend, was Joe Davies, a true American hero. We have heard about Joe Davies all of our life, all of us kids. Story after story after story, and what a great American hero he was. The teams had long, demanding practice sessions, and a lot of them quickly. Dad practiced and excelled in the sports program, all three of them. He played football, basketball, and baseball, and he was darn good at all of them. In one basketball game, one special night, during his junior year, before the game, listen to this, before the game, he went to his future father-in-law's house and had 2 beers before this game. That night, Dad broke the school record, scoring 41 points. Lesson learned there. In fact, he broke Bruce Hewitt's record of 38 points that night. Bruce held that record for 3 years, and Dad held that record for 8 years. Pretty awesome. They beat Mount Vernon that night, 86-71. My mom remembers that she couldn't go to that game that night because she wasn't allowed to go out on the weeknights. Man, you remember those days when you actually listened to your mom and dad? Dad came to her house after the game around 10 o'clock and threw dirt clods from the flower bed up to her 2nd floor bedroom window to tell her Annandale had won the game. He was so excited to tell her he had scored 41 points that night and broke the school record. He was a junior that year, and at the awards ceremony, he was recognized as the most outstanding athlete of 1956 to 1957. I don't think I've ever beat my dad in basketball, ever. To this day, he's 80 years old, and he still kicks my tail. One thing Dad taught me was to win in sports. And I wasn't too bad in wrestling. In fact, Dad might not tell you, but he was a really good horseshoe player. Recently, over the last 4 years, he's converted horseshoe to cornhole. Anybody play cornhole? Pretty darn good game, isn't it? Well, last year, Dad and I entered a tournament up in Crown King, Arizona with 32 teams. You want to know who won? The entire tournament, Dad and I, at 79 years old. And Dad threw 3 bags in at the end of the game to win the whole thing. That's my dad. Nothing but winning. My dad always tells me, Keith, 2nd place is just the first loser. Dad coached Richie Carrero and I in Little League 3 years. I was a pitcher, Richie was the catcher. And did we have some good times here in Virginia? Let me tell you. Dad's level of effort in sports for Annandale High School was a sign of his level of effort in life. You know, when you do sports, you learn how to do it. And you earn a lot of self-respect. And you become something in life. More kids need to do sports. No question about it. He's passed the torch down to 4 kids, 4 of us, and soon to his 27 grandchildren. Dad, I'm your biggest fan. Congratulations, Dad. And let me share something. A lot of people think Kid Rock is the American badass. I'm here to tell you tonight, my dad's the American badass.
That's my boy. He's a tough dude, believe me. Well, I gotta tell you how I got here. My wife. You already know she had 4 beautiful kids. Yeah, my youngest is Chrissy. She's an Arizona baby. We had Keith, Kenny, Carla here. Anyway. She's a tough woman, believe me. I worked for Arizona Public APS as a lineman right out of school. I worked for Pepco for 15 years. Worked at Glebe Road where the main office was, and 1962, I went to Woodbridge and worked there until we moved from there to Arizona. And that's the best thing I ever did. I kind of hated leaving Virginia, but we went up to Roland Road there, and Franconia Road would be, and we went to the pizza shop. And after the pizza shop, we were going back to Burke with Donna and her sister and her husband and me. From the pizza shop, we went by the Shell station and saw Winnebago there for rent. Now, her sister and husband had been in B&10 Laos with the State Department. They were coming home to visit us. Anyway, 9 days later, we got in that Winnebago and went to Arizona with her 2 kids and my 3 kids. What a trip. We got on the Pennsylvania Turnpike up there, and we were moving along, and Donna's sister said, I'll back up a little bit. Her mother gave them each $200 to go to Las Vegas on. So as Carla, her sister, said, I know what I'm going to do with my $200. I'm going to fly back there. I'm going to fly back to Virginia. Anyway, that was a rough trip for her. Anyway, we got to Arizona. Her aunt and uncle lived there with their 4 kids. So we parked in Winnebago there, and the next morning we went to Las Vegas. And then her cousin who lived there, he wanted to go to Las Vegas too. So what was that, 9 of us in a 25-foot Winnebago? That gets crowded. Anyway, long story short, we came back. I went to APS. I got an appointment to go down there. It's a power company in Arizona. I got a job there. I had an interview with a real nice guy, a gentleman. He said, can you go to work tomorrow? This was in July. We went to Arizona in July. Don't any of you ever do that. It's kind of warm, especially going across the Arizona desert to Nevada. Anyway, after I went down and got a job application, and they told me I could go to work, I got my family here. I can't go to work tomorrow. So, the next day, we go, and her sister and her husband bought a house that wasn't built yet, and we went on the other side of the block, and we bought a house. Come home, it took 5 days to get there each way, so we were gone, what, 15 days now? Anyway, so then I told them before I left, back up a little bit, I'd come back to work in October. So that was fine. So we come home, and we try to get our house sold. Anyway, so, and her mother had finally moved in with us. And in 1969, a lot of y'all might remember what happened down at down at Hose Road and Rolling Road. Her dad was named George C. Crown. He was murdered by a ex-AOW Marine from Fort Belvoir. 2 days before Father's Day, June 17th. That was a horrible day of our life. It was all over the newspapers, and Detective Dan Mustang found him at Fort Belvoir 8 days later. And he it was a long proceedings at court and everything. We thought it would never end, but that was an awful day for my 3 kids and my wife. It's horrible. But we got over it, but you never get through something like that. Every day of her life, she thinks about that. It's horrible. Anyway, so we went to Arizona. We had a great life, and I really appreciate you guys that nominated me for this award, and I'm here to accept it. So be it. Thank you very much, John and Mike, very much.
Thank you, Mr. Elgin.
That's awesome or what?
Yes, it is. It's awesome. No, Mr. Elgin came all the way from Arizona to come out here, brought his whole family out here to come for that Hall of Fame. And he deserves it. His family deserves it. Now, this isn't all.